Hello and welcome back to the Ever Show podcast. I'm your host here, Joe, and today we are talking, OnlyFans is coming to an end, you guys. Well, they announced it and then they kind of backtracked on it because they also realized that they'd be losing a lot of money. But there are going to definitely be some kind of changes and things. Like, they are realizing that there is a huge liability that they are undertaking by, diving into the porn world, into the sex industry. Like, when OnlyFans started back in 2015, 2016, I know they had no intentions of, becoming a porn site, and then, people found their lane and in it, and then now it's become notorious for ways that like a lot of women and men out there are making their money. So some of the issues that I just want to talk about today are, why did a lot of people get involved in OnlyFans? And was it regular people? Of course, people who were already in the porn industry just kind of transitioned over. But I think it was a lot of money. And, people became entranced with you're making 10, 15, 30, 40, 100 millions of dollars even on OnlyFans. But there is the after, what happens after, because once they announced that October 1st that they were going to take it out, people went into a panic mode. I'm pretty sure they started writing letters and everything, trying to whoa, you can't just stop, you can't just give us a 6-week notice and then think you're going to just stop all our money. Whoa, what's going on here? And of course the reason why that, and I wonder, ladies, or gentlemen, how did you find yourself in this? And are you prepared for what happens afterward? Have you been saving, investing? Have you figured out your next business strategy? You see, at least Tiger told you, he's not giving up on this. He's starting his My Star and everything. But it's what happens after this? Because you can't continuously tell me that, of course sex sells, but you and even yourself, how do you feel that, nobody wakes up one day and they're going to be a porn star or they're going to engage in this kind of activity. But it's just really strange, not really strange, but due to the pandemic and everybody, getting out of work and everything, people just needed to find, a way to make money, and OnlyFans really did give them that platform and that opportunity. But you see that when people first started, it was modest, it was just pictures, it was really cute. It was it wasn't taking it all the way there. And now you see those same girls or those same people, or the people who know, if you even want to start an OnlyFans, you have to be going full on into this. They want to see something new that we haven't seen, and best believe they are giving it up on OnlyFans. So you need to be doing more. You need to be wowing the audience. And it's did women or men, is this what you saw yourself because all of this happened just in the last year. And it's what happens? And you hear these OnlyFans women on, podcasts, they go and talk, especially, specifically on a lot of the Fresh and Fit. And it was they would just be oh no, it's gonna be forever. And and it was we all know sex doesn't sell forever. Guys too are, the people simping and spending all their money on this. I don't know, they really made so much money. And I'm okay, who is funding this? And the same guys who are funding it, that's easy answer. The same CEOs, CFOs, and all those guys who are trying to block it and everything, those are the same people supporting it, And, and this is, again, let me say this. This isn't to knock anybody's house or I'm coming off judgmental or anything. This is more so just a conversation of what happens next and preparing yourself for the future. And it's knowing what you set yourself up for, because what do you tell your family? What do you tell your kids? And you see kids go to school and they're getting bullied. People are, making a lot of mean remarks because their mom is online, busting it open. And it's come on, ladies, do you have a little bit of respect for yourself? Each get in and get out, or it's come on, it's nobody wants to see the 40-year-old stripper. Come on, and it's not age knocking. It is just for yourself. You can't brand yourself solely on this, and every day you wake up and, you guys have made it, an embarrassment for people who work 9 to 5s, people who work at McDonald's or work, because everybody starts from somewhere, unless at a silver tune, everybody starts from somewhere. So you making that $10 an hour, $12, whatever, you build from there. You can, grow yourself. And I saddened that so many people have chosen to, brand themselves on the OnlyFans website, or just completely brand their whole, surroundings around selling sex. And it said like, they're stepping across boundaries that they never would have, like their standards and morals are completely out, out the window. These same women that we, once held to such high regards are, stooping themselves low. And look, OnlyFans was on there to actually help people build businesses and, share ideas and, help people create it. And I think that's what they're trying to go back to. They're trying to, really evolve in that aspect, but then they know like, okay, the money was in the sex, but they're gonna figure out a way to regulate this because unless they're gonna come out and just say like we are a porn site, because think about it, even in the regular porn industry, like there are rules and regulations and like, STD checks and condom checks. And the reason why they're like really having to step back is like they're a lawsuit away from all of this like going downhill. Like it takes one, like underage person to get up on there. It takes one person to say that, they didn't get consent to this, and then it all just blows up in their face. And like they're trying to get ahead of that before it happens, because it's, almost inevitable that something like that will happen. Somebody like, it's, people do things in the bedroom and then they wake up the next morning like, oh, I didn't agree to that. And then they go post it. Like things can get really, really weird out here. So, OnlyFans doesn't want to be liable, because even if I sue, Johnny down the street for, recording me and putting me on OnlyFans, like Johnny don't got no real money. I'm really going after OnlyFans because that's the platform that allowed Johnny to like, put my, business out on there. And honestly, like there is no amount of money that's gonna like take that back. Like we can always go online right now and see Kim K. And she's a billionaire now. And we could still get online and still see Kim K and her body and her doing Ray J. We could still see it today. So it's something that still always haunts you. It's still always going to follow you. So there's really like no amount of money that like comes back, and like that you can get back from that, especially if you didn't consent to this. So that's like the issue that OnlyFans is like trying to like completely avoid. Like how do the banks justify paying out money claims? Because like when they're giving paying you guys, like that's essentially the bank saying that they're paying for sex. So, these big banks are going to be like, whoa, yeah, we're not going to be processing these kinds of transactions. Like, and I wonder if you guys are going to regret this one day, and, you're making a temporary decision that you haven't really thought about the long-term consequences of, or, hey, that this is what you're going to do. Like, hey, and I wonder, like, are you ladies saving and investing this money like you claim you are? Are you buying property? Are you starting that business? Are you preparing for, your future? Because, OnlyFans is like, I don't want to say it's fading away or it's going anyway, because, I really don't know. But it's not at its peak. It's not going to be at that peak forever, especially now that they're talking about changing everything. Like you'll see that people are going to go to MyStar. People are going to start maybe even cutting deals with Pornhub or XX videos or NX, whatever, whatever porn site you be on, or Black. Like you might even see like regular people going on there, and, who are famous, famous OnlyFans people going on there. And, cutting deals, cutting checks, guest appearances and things like that. Have we thought about that? The merch, we really thought like a way to fully maximize this? Because if you've already, if you've already stepped in there, might as well go overboard and make sure you get all the money and get everything that you can out of this, and make sure you save it. And give yourself a timeline, deadline that you're gonna get in and get out. Because, come on, you guys, we know. Sorry, my voice sounds a little harsh, but I'm trying to speak loud so you can still hear me. And, I just want to know where all this money goes. Just like, where is all this money? Because like, how are people just, you're making 100,000, like you can't knock that. Like, I could just get online right now, get in front of this camera like I'm doing right now. And like people, like I can cut a check for 6 figures. Some are even making 7 figures. It's a lot of money, but it's money or morals, and morals are your morals versus your standards, and your, what are you going to stand for? How do you view yourself? And, again, what are you going to tell your family? What are you going to tell your kids? What happens from this? And it's just like, you want to like help women gain confidence in themselves and know that there's like more to life than like fast money, and you can really make an honest living. And you don't want to knock people who are gonna make an honest living, because some people just don't have it in them to showcase it all online, or to be busting it open. And it's like, okay, come on, you guys. It's also a lot of wear and tear on the body, because like, go look at these girls back in 2019, before they got into OnlyFans, and then like see them in 2020, still hot and fresh, and then go see those same girls now. Like, you want to talk about worn out, okay? Like, they look like they've just been like slutted out. Like, I don't care what you say, that much sex on the body, like, you drains you, and it starts to just show. And down there can never, it's definitely not the same. And how do you find a husband, boyfriend, stable relationship after this? But then also there's like a lot of couples doing this. But then it's also kind of sad that, like, job applications are going to see these things. But are women going to be like punished a lot more than the men? Because you even see on OnlyFans, I haven't even seen, I keep saying you see, but I've like, no. But like a lot of the guys, like, they don't even show their face. So, like, it's not like they're gonna go to a job interview, they're gonna be like, yo, pull your pants down, we gotta like mash this penis to the one online. Like, it's the women who are on there, showing their face, showing their body, like, who like they actually are. The men have, found ways to be incognito, you know what I'm saying? So that works into their benefit. But like, are they gonna be as reprimanded as hard, or we're gonna be looking down to them, hey daddy, why was you on OnlyFans, slinging that thing all around? Like, are we gonna say the same thing to them? But this is all just to say, what do you guys feel about this whole OnlyFans? Like, do you think that they are gonna like figure out a way to stop it, take it back a little bit, start regulating the content? And do you think it is good? And like, these women should be finding another outlet? Do we need to support and go harder? Like, no, OnlyFans, you can't take this away. We need our women out here, getting that check, from these dudes, who want to pay, with females, whoever's paying, and what happens after this? Like, are they gonna, what's the future for, all these OnlyFans models? Or, are we seeing the height now, and then we're gonna see a lot of like strung out strippers, low-key on the street prostitutes, or, really, really busting it open and doing the absolute most on another website? What happens? What's going to happen? What's the future? Because OnlyFans, oh my God, it becomes like such an epidemic. Like, even women are now like going, getting their BBLs and getting on there, getting BBLs solely just to get on there just to make more money. And it's just like, oh my God, this cycle, it'll never end. And they're always going to be wanting you to do more and more. I've already seen you do this. I got to see you do this and that. And then see women putting cucumbers and like weird things, or maybe like 8 guys, or whatever the case may be, like just really stepping across the morals and boundaries and things that they had set for themselves. Like, they no longer abide to that. So ladies, gentlemen, everybody, comment, like, subscribe, and let me know, like, how do you guys feel about this OnlyFans thing? What's the future?